Hello everyone. So in this part of the video, we'll be learning on how to create a card component. For example, here this is a particular blog card here, but it doesn't seem to look like a professional card that we usually see in most of the blog websites. So all you have to do is just need to give some styling effects to make sure that it looks better in terms of its appearance. Can be either be in shadow, the color of its card, and much more. And let's get started. All you have to do just need to go to our card component, which is here, right here, as you can see. Now let's go to inside our card component like this. Click on this, and you'll be able to see a simple code which has an image tag like this, and there's two more text tag like this. For example, h3 is for the title of this particular blog card, and of course it's going to be another p tag here to just give some short description of this particular card here. So with just these three elements we are able to create a super stunningly professional blog card in just a few lines of code would do. For example, let's get started. As you can see here, I like to give some background color to make sure that it's like a card here. So the card should be having a background color. So I like to, first of all, I like to go to the outermost div here, and inside this outermost div, I would like to give some class name like this. And inside class name, first of all, I would give some background white, bg white like this. As you can see here, when I click on save, you'll be able to see some color of this particular background color of this particular card is actually being, you're able to see it like this. And now, right now, let's add some more effect. For example, let's say this is, as you can see, this corner is super sharp here. So usually cards are not very sharp, so I'm going to give some rounded corner effect to this particular card here. So all you do, just need to type rounded like this. So rounded it's going to be making sure that your corners are going to be not so sharp. It's going to be having some radius. So let's click save, and as you can see, you are able to see this particular corner here. So the color is not so contrast. Let's add some more contrast to the background color. For example, let's go here. For example, just make it super gray like this, super dark like this. So I'll click save, and then you will see some rounded corners here. Basically, you are able to see really less corner here. So all you need to just, if you want to add more corner, for example, you want to increase the radius of this particular corner, just need to add XL, the size of this particular card that you like to have it. For example, if I click on XL, you are able to see there's more corners, more radius has been given to this particular corner. So so that's how it works. So I like to remove this particular background grid. So before that, you can see here only this bottom part of this particular corner has been made into rounded, but then as you can see, the top parts, they are not corner, and there's a reason why is because this particular image does not have a property to hide its image to adapt the shape of its background. So that's what we're supposed to be doing. So next thing I like to add is overflow hidden. So what does it do is that, yeah, whenever there's an overflow of an image, for example, overflow of this image here, it will hide. So that's what it said. Let's click save. And then if you click save here, you'll be able to find your image actually adapting to its background. So this is exactly what we wanted it to look like. Let me just remove this particular background color to my gray, and let's click save. Let's go back to the card here. And next thing I like to add the height of this image. The height of image is taking the whole image, the whole height here, which I don't want it to make it the whole height. And of course, I like to go to my second tag here, which is the image tag here. So this image tag, I like to add some class name like this. And this class name, first of all, I like to reduce the height of this image. For example, I like to make it look a height of 56 like this, something like this. And there you go. Right now, I've just reduced the size of the image. And of course, let's make this particular image to occupy the whole space of this particular card here. So for example, I'll say width equals to full. Let's click save, and there you go. Right now, you're able to see that your image is actually filling up the whole space of your card. But as the problem here is that the image is stretched, which we wouldn't want it to look like this. So when this is the reason why is that it stretches to make it to fill the whole space. But instead of stretching, we can make it zoom a bit into the image so that it fills the whole space. So in that case, we like to add another property, which is object cover. Object cover feature will be able to make your image to not to stretch, but it just zooms inside a bit more to make it fill the whole space. That's the reason why we're adding this object cover. And there you go. Right now we have already finished with our image here, the product cards image here. The last two part remaining is this particular text elements here, which is the title here, and then some description, short description like this. So all you have to do, just have to go to this particular the second part of here, which is I made it like a separate div here so that we're able to separate between the top part of the card and the bottom part of the card like this. So over here, I like to separate them, give some spacing from on top, like spacing on top and some side here. So all you do just need to add some class name and give some padding around like 8 should do. Click save, and there you go. Right now as you can see here, there's some space at the bottom and the top here, and some right and the left here. This is exactly what we wanted. And I also give some styling effect these two texts here. So for the first of all, I have to give some text styling for the first H3. For example, let's say I have to give class name. In this case, I have to give some. I have to make the font become bold first. For example, font. Just need to say font equals to bold like this, and click save, and you will find that this is separates from the normal description. And let's increase the size a bit more bigger. So just gonna say text equals to 2XL like this to make it twice as big as this particular size of description here. And of course, let's give some spacing to the bottom and the top here. So like to say margin y-axis of 1. And then now you'll find that there's some spacing at the bottom and the top here. So this is what we want. The next thing is that I like to add some styling to this p tag here. So class name, and I will say text gray to give some color. I'm just giving some color to become text equals to gray, so that it does not actually. It should be contradict to this particular block here. So right click save, and you will find the color to become a bit lighter than its black color. And next thing is I like to add some size. Okay, so you can see here the size is too small, so I like to add text equals to XL. So XL is just going to be a bit more bigger, but it's not as big as this, by the way. And there you go. Right now we have already completed most of the parts here. The last thing I would like to add is I like to add some shadow. So for example, let's say I like to add drop shadow like this, and the size of the shadow is going to be around, like I like to add XL. So that you can actually manipulate from XL to MD, so that you are able to adapt your particular preference. For example, in this case, I like to go with XL here because XL looks perfectly fine for me. And there you go. Right now we have already completed just a part of this particular card here. And the next thing I like to teach in the next upcoming videos, I like to add some badge on top of here, just right on top of here, to make sure that it gives more information on what it exactly is. This card has some feature. So that's we'll be discussing in our next video. Thanks for watching. Let's catch up in the next one. Thanks.